Hello and a very warm welcome to episode 1 of the Quiet Confidence podcast with myself, Anita Papat. I am so excited to have you on this journey with me. And I say journey because I feel like this has been a long time coming. And in true Anita style, I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. And I'm just happy that you're here with me. You can see the journey unfold. My intention is to give you some actionable, bite-sized episodes with inspiration on mindset, energy management, and marketing yourself as an introvert in business. So in this first episode, it makes sense to discuss the whole essence of this podcast, which is quiet confidence. What is it really? And why do I think as introverts have a natural advantage when it comes to marketing? So before I get into that, I just want to say that if you find marketing hard or you feel like you've got to put on a performance to show up, it's not you. I would say marketing as a whole has been shaped for the more extroverted personality, and it's noisy. Like when you're online, you see the big personalities, the big energy, lots of visibility, and you've probably heard the advice like, just show up more, just be more consistent, just go live and speak from the heart. And you're probably thinking, yeah, it's all right for you. But for us introverts, it really feels like you have to put on a performance, and that takes energy. But people like us, and I'm assuming you, if you're listening to this podcast, someone who deeply cares about your clients and who tends to listen more than you speak, you want meaning in your message. You're not a content factory that's just churning out content for the sake of it. And that constant energy of overthinking and the feeling of, oh my God, I'm not online, or oh my God, I need to do this, or oh my God, I'm going to be left behind. It's draining. And if you're anything like me, you probably tried to do all those things when you started out, but there is another way. So if you've ever thought, I know I'm good at what I do, but I just can't bring myself to post like that, then you are exactly who this podcast is for. So what is quiet confidence? Now, to me, quiet confidence isn't about kind of shrinking and staying in the background and forcing yourself to be louder. It's all about trusting you and having that inner self-belief that you've got something to say and anchoring in that when it comes to showing up in your content. So we're not performing, we know our value and we present that authentically in our content when it comes to client conversations or if you're on podcasts or things like this. And we also show up in a consistency that feels good to us, whether that's once a week, twice a week, whatever feels consistent to you. And you're not seeking external validation because you already believe that you've got something to say, you know who you're saying it to, you know it's valuable, and you're showing up at a consistency that feels maintainable for you. You're not looking at all of the external noise and thinking, oh my God, I need to be like that. No, you need to be like you. And that is how you build a soulful marketing rhythm. And that sounds nice, doesn't it? So why do introverts make amazing marketers? Well, obviously we're amazing, but there are genuine personality traits that we can use to our advantage. So I'm going to go into those now. The first one is that we're really good listeners, which is gold in marketing because we can really understand our audience, not only with what they're saying, but with the things that they're not saying as well. And I use this all the time on client calls in particular. And that annoying toddler who's like, why, at least 7 times, because, we go 7 layers deep, not surface level. And it's so amazing just to see the breakthroughs and the, oh my God, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And that whole holding up a mirror and someone finally seeing like their value and what they stand for is the best feeling in the world. And we only get that because we're able to listen and pick out the nuances that other personalities might not, because they're probably just waiting for that person to finish talking and then say their piece. Whereas we're genuinely listening, taking it all in, and reflecting on what they're saying. So that's an amazing trait to have in marketing because a lot of marketing is literally listening and then mirroring that back in your content. And that's when you get that whole, oh my God, it feels like you're in my head comment. And that builds trust and that builds connection, which is all amazing stuff to help you get clients. The next thing is that we lead with empathy. And that's because we genuinely care. And I know that might sound like, oh yeah, but everyone cares, but not really. But we're dealing with humans at the end of the day. And I know when you're working online, it can feel like, oh, you need to get this many numbers to get this many conversions. But let's be human and let's actually care about what we're putting out. And treat the other people on the other side as a human being. I mean, the amount of times I've said, like, no, you're not quite ready for the program yet, or why don't you go and download this freebie instead of coming to work with me, is quite substantial. Yeah, I don't make as many sales, but it makes me feel good because I actually care. Like, I don't want to sell someone something that's not going to be the right fit for them. And that in turn makes people trust me even more. And I've had people come back to me later on when they have been ready, or they've been recommending me to other people in their network because of the advice that I've given. So don't underestimate having empathy with your audience. The third thing is that we're really intentional with our words. So to others, it might feel like we're bored or we're just sitting in a corner, but we're reflecting, we're looking at people, we're observing, and we'll join the conversation when we've got something to say. And the same thing applies online. Like, we don't just post for the sake of it, because we want it to mean something. Like, when I'm posting, I'm always going with the intention of, right, what's one thing I can share that's going to speak to this one person, and what's the one thing I want them to do by the end of it. And having that intentionality in our content makes it land more. And when it resonates, it's going to convert to more clients as well. So being a good listener, leading with empathy, and being intentional with our words, because we value depth and nuances in conversation rather than just working the room, is what I think makes introverts really good at marketing and create content that makes people think, oh my God, you're in my head. So if your excuse was, I find it really hard to show up online because I'm an introvert, I hope this episode has flipped that script in your head, because we are literally made for this stuff. I mean, you're a good listener, you lead with empathy, you only talk when you've got something meaningful to say. And that means that whoever you're talking to, or whenever you post content, that's going to make your audience feel connected to you because they feel seen, heard, and understood. And that is what makes a really good marketer. I hope you enjoyed listening to the very first episode today. If you did, I would love it if you would follow, subscribe, and review on whichever podcast app that you're listening on. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much.